Hey! Hi, everybody!
Hi!
We're live streaming.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry for being a rude host and
Jeez.
using my phone. Just trying to text my mother and tell her I was streaming. Because my parents
Actually, what I'm doing right now.
don't think I do anything as a broadcast major. This is the closest thing to observable progress they've had in a very long time. So,
And Tara, yes, I did approve ads for this stream, so to answer your text. Well.
My mom can't remember how, so I'm texting her how to do it again.
Go to youtube.com and search Fire Talk Season 1. Oh, yeah. Fire Talk Season 1 is the easiest way to find it, but once we, get big, I mean, you're going to be
it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Hey, Tori.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor about you.
Did you hear a rumor about me?
I heard you're an accomplished amateur magician.
Who told you that?
Oh, that wasn't you. It must have been somebody else in the studio. Oh my god! So that's so embarrassing.
Oh man,
Kyle,
we get mixed up all the time.
Is it you that was the accomplished amateur magician?
I know a few
It
tricks.
definitely wasn't me.
I know a few tricks here and there.
You do?
Actually, I got one.
Oh no, you don't.
Oh yes. So I have. Oh, it's a little tangled right now. I over-undered it too. Jeez.
Oh. Wow.
I have this rope here. I had a little string. I wouldn't really call it a rope. You guys want to examine that?
No, this has got to be a magic rope or something, right?
It's not. It's not a magic rope. It's just I literally got it out of a Southeastern pull string bag earlier.
No, that.
Yeah. You see it? It does that as well.
All right, I believe you.
I think it might be real.
For the folks watching at home, I'm 225 pounds of solid muscle, and I can't break this.
So it must be real.
I believed you for a second. I was like, "There's no way, Sean."
No, not at all.
Sean, would you mind just sitting there real quick? I'll kind of sit right here in front of the.
Please.
So what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do with this? You ready? I'll put this around my neck. Okay. Now this is the fun part. You ready? Watch this. I'm gonna tie it nice and tight. Okay, nice and tight. See that? You see that? Right there. Right there. Sean.
Is it still there? Can I touch it?
Yeah. Take this.
Still there.
Take this. Don't pull it yet. Don't pull it yet. Tori, take this. Take this. On the count of 3, you guys gotta pull hard. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah! Right through the neck. Right through the neck.
Right through the neck.
It's still solid,
Yeah.
Nothing sketchy there.
You mind if I give it a try?
Yeah, give it a try, man. This is one of the cheesy ones I learned last night, actually.
Right through the neck.
Don't pull tight though.
No,
It's gonna make me nervous.
Don't worry. I'm not a professional like you guys. Okay, so get this like so, right? No, I don't think I have the trick down.
This one, I'll have to. I won't show it on this show, but maybe in another time when we need to waste time, I'll kind of show how to do it.
You don't. I mean, that's the only trick you know, though, right? Like you don't know any other ones.
I know a few card tricks.
No, you don't.
I really do.
Stop lying.
I don't know why you guys don't believe me.
No one's that cool.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't know. This is a deck of cards.
This is a deck of cards. I have a deck of cards here. I have a deck of cards. Completely random deck of cards.
They're magic cards, though, aren't they? That's not normal.
These are not marked or anything. These are completely normal.
I'm gonna have to touch them.
Yeah, go ahead. Fair enough. Completely normal.
Look like cards.
Those are normal cards.
All right, would you guys? Let's see. I've never done this with 2 cards before, but do you guys want to each take a card?
Yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead and take a card. Each of you guys.
Can I show it to the live stream?
Yes, I'll turn this way.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, you showed him.
Yep.
All right, so what we're gonna do? I'll go ahead and take your card first, Sean. I'm not gonna look at it. I'm gonna put it right about here, okay? Now, Tori, let me see your card. I am not trusted. I'm gonna put it a little bit underneath, okay? A little bit underneath, okay?
For the live stream.
So it's going. You see that? It's going in to the deck, right like that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right like that. Now watch this, okay? I'm gonna have both your cards on top, 1 and 2. You ready? All right. Nervous. 1, 2, and we have Sean's card and Tori's card. Okay, I feel like that was a fake reaction. Are these not your cards?
That wasn't it, man.
These aren't your cards, right? These
not
aren't
it.
their cards, right
No.
there. The King of Hearts and Aces. Sean, I'm getting like you. I'm kind of shaking a little
Sorry,
bit.
dude.
All right, okay. I can't do that. Here, how we do? What was your card?
You want me to tell you?
Yes, please, if you wouldn't mind.
It was the Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts. What was your card?
Mine was the 9 of spades.
9 of Spades. All right. What I'm going to do? I'm going to put these 2 cards right on the top of the deck, right like that. Okay. Now watch this. On the count of 3, I'm going to flip the entire deck over except for your guys' cards. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Watch this. Let's see. It's not as visual for them, but I can see the entire deck is flipped over.
Wait a minute.
Except for
Dude.
2 cards. Can you take those cards for me? And on the count of 3, can you show the audience? 1, 2, 3. And those are your cards.
What?
The amazing Kyle.
Yeah.
Paul Dini.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you,
What
Kyle.
is this?
That's one of my favorite tricks.
Wizardry.
Yeah.
Today on Fire Talk, we're discussing sorcery in the Bible. Should we still stone magicians or only exile them? Thank you for being with us, Mr. Holly.
Of course, of course.
Figure it out later. I have Anna's actually.
Oh, Tara's like, I know how you did that.
Ooh, she knows the secret.
Yeah, she
Which
did.
one, the card trick or the rope through the neck?
She sent that one after rope through the neck. Sorry, I noticed when I came up on that.
Okay.
Bum, bum.
Well, we'll have to talk. Just so everybody knows, this is the pre-show where we wait for Anna to get here.
I think in the meantime, we should say our favorite things about Anna.
Our favorite things about Anna?
Starting with Kyle Hawley.
Okay,
Top
so
10. Top 10.
Top 10? I mean, I have more of like a statement, kind of, not necessarily like a point, you know?
Okay, alright.
But like, this is the first semester I've really got to know her. Like, I got to know a lot of you guys like last semester and stuff. I got to know her a little bit, but this is like the first semester I've really like got to talk to her and stuff. And she is so freaking funny.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, I mean, obviously you guys think, oh, you know, off the improv team, of course you guys are probably funny and stuff, and you guys are, but like, not that she's not funny on there, but like,
Yeah.
I think she's funnier when she's not on stage.
Oh,
just
seriously?
Because, yeah, it's just like fast, like little like responses and stuff, you know. So she's very, very funny. That's my favorite thing about Anna Laughlin.
She's very funny. That's good. I'll say, people don't realize this, and funny people often go uncredited with this, comedians. She's very smart.
Yeah.
Very
Yes.
smart person. It's not that we think she's an idiot, but we're not like, oh, Anna's like incredibly intelligent. You know what I mean?
But she's like super smart.
She's very,
Yeah.
very smart. She's very
What's her
smart.
major again?
Education.
No one knows.
Education.
Okay, education.
Sean
I
doesn't
didn't
know.
know. I didn't know.
I didn't know until now.
She's education major. I think she's in honors actually.
Take it away, please.
What's
Oh,
your favorite thing
favorite
about
thing.
Anna?
I like that she says LOL actually out loud.
Oh,
After
well.
sentence,
She
like-
does.
Like, and it's not at
Oh,
funny
well.
things. It's not when it's funny. It's when it's awkward and uncomfortable.
Oh,
She'll just be
yeah.
like, LOL.
The voice. That's my next on our top 10 favorite thing. She always does the deep voice thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She'll make funny something like that. LOL. Yeah.
If Anna ever wanted my PA job, I think she could have it. Oh, man. My next favorite thing about Hannah is that she is from Montana. Hannah?
Did you call her Hannah again?
I did. I call her Hannah.
It's okay.
She is from Montana. and
My next
I-
favorite thing is she
Right.
answers to both.
Montana.
Yes.
Anything that ends in like nah, she says that she kind of responds to.
Yeah.
Because her twin's name is Shanna.
She has a twin?
You didn't know that?
That's legit?
She has
Yeah.
a twin named Shanna.
What?
And they're identical.
What?
Why her parents did that to themselves?
Shanna and Anna.
Laughlin family, if you've discovered electricity in Montana yet, or if the buffalo haven't knocked over the power
She
lines.
forgot. She's on her way.
It's okay, it happens to all of us.
You guys are bold for having identical twins and naming them Shanna and Anna. I'm not sure what the thinking there was, but your family's probably very close as a result.
I'm gonna edit this part and then put this as like a bonus footage on YouTube. Just edit this part out and then put it on a separate video.
The Anna Laughlin special.
The analog special.
All right, we are at, that was 6. Kyle, you got to give us 7.
That was 6. Tori, did you give us another one?
I did not.
this will be
I really like her cat shirt.
Oh my gosh!
God.
Yeah, that's how she got in the team.
No,
Yeah,
Remember that
I
cat
heard
show
that
she had?
story. Yeah.
It was an awful audition. She wasn't funny at all.
No.
I'm still not sure if she's funny or not.
But that
But-
shirt, man.
You just never know when the shirt's gonna come back, and that's a risk we're willing to run.
We're just
consistent.
Russian roulette till the shirt comes back.
You already know. I'm just kidding.
No,
Laughlin
she's
family Anna's
fantastic.
really funny. But we're not kidding about the
Okay.
shirt though. Like that's very important to us.
We do like that shirt.
My next favorite thing is she's like the only happy Chartwell's worker,
That's a wow.
right?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Like genuinely joyful.
Yeah, every time I see her in there, I genuinely smile because she said something funny to me, or was just like, "Hey, how's it going? LOL."
She's the
Love
best.
my life.
Let me see. Number 8 on the countdown of top 10 best things about Anna Laughlin. I will say, I don't want to be superficial, but she has this great purse, and it looks like it was woven out of,
Yes.
I don't even know what. It might be Colombian or from somewhere. It's Ethiopian.
Yeah.
Is what it is, and it's a good old missionary major purse. So she's got the missions major purse, without, being a missions major, and I really credit her for opening herself in that regard. So it takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Number 9. She. Honestly, talking about the missions major thing, she's super cool. Like, if we interviewed her for the WSEU radio student profiles, and I was like, "What do you want to do with your life?" And she was like, "Well, I'm in education, but I really want to do missions, so I'm going to go do missions and teach kids overseas because everyone needs to learn." And I was like, "That's incredible."
She's super cool.
She's super cool.
10.
It's a
Number
fact.
10 is
Close it down for us.
she's on the best show on campus, and that's a great segue because we're going to be talking about that great show called Unplanned Improv today on a radio show.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be
good.
a lot of fun. And I'm going to try to not...
Laughlin
Unplanned
fun.
improv.
I try to.
I'm just gonna keep doing random ditties until one of them fits and we have a theme song.
For Unplanned?
Yeah.
I don't... Side note,
What's the song you guys have now? It's
no, it doesn't have to be a song. I need to say that
Can we
better.
do like a spoken word? I'm not serious.
You remember okay, alright. You remember the Full House intro that they had
Sorry.
back in the day? It's
Ah.
got to be like that. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Oh.
Not for Full House, but like the Unplanned Improv version of that
The
song.
one with like Curtis and
Yeah.
Peyton.
That was like back in when I had the Dream Team in season 4.
Anna could be the Olsen twins. I just filmed her twice.
You know what? I got a bold prediction about this year of Unplanned Improv.
Yeah.
And it's a little on the prideful side, so I won't say it on the air. But I think
Cover your ears, everybody.
Yeah. Cover your ears for those of you that need to read Proverbs 14:18 today. Pride goeth before the fall, and the haughty man finds destruction. I don't think that last part was right,
No.
which makes me a little prideful. Anyway, I think this season, we're going to have a top 5 in history team.
Well, what I've always said is that as great as everybody else was, I think last season spent too much time looking back rather than looking forward, and I think this season's finally looking forward.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why it's going to be a really good season.
We're
And
kinda-
I mean, it already hasn't.
Well,
it already
there's
has been a very good
there's
season.
like chemistry there.
Yes.
Someone was talking to me about asking a professor actually was asking about the show, and I was like, there's something there, and you can't formulate it, you can't
Mhm.
rehearse it into life. There's something happens that magic when there's a special group of people that get together, and you can't even orchestrate it or plan it, but you can do your best and pray, and when it happens, there's just that like
awesome.
electricity.
Well, like with the 3 new players, this is like a pre-interview almost. With the 3
Mhm.
new players that you guys added, which is Pablo, Yachty, and Johnny.
Mhm.
Is it Yachty or Jotty?
Jotty.
Jotty. Okay.
Add to confusion.
Dang it! I know. Look at
Ladies and gentlemen,
Whoa.
number
She
11 on the
has
countdown.
arrived.
Punctuality.
Oh my gosh! Good to see you. Good to see you.
Happy birthday.
Take your seat.
I apologize. It's okay.
So welcome to the live stream. We just did the top 10 things about Anna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, all about you.
I believe it.
And that was the
Nothing
first
to
time I
say.
ever found out that you had a twin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
What's a
Wow.
twin's name?
LOL.
John found out what your name
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, guess the most cliche thing that her name could be.
Oh, I don't know. What could it be? Because I didn't hear what it was.
Tim.
You got it.
Whoa.
And until.
Whoa.
Tim.
Alright, do you want to jump on air?
Oh,
Oh, what
Do you
the
want to jump on
heck?
air?
Oh, let's get on the air. We might as well.
Just so you know, basically today we're going to be welcome to our production notes. I'm going to kind of interview you guys about unplanned improv and how you use comedy as a ministry, and also just about unplanned in general.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, we have a little pre-talk.
Proverbs 16:18.
About that.
What? Let's see
Yeah,
what's
take
going
the-
on.
the
Oh my gosh,
headphones.
we got 10 seconds.
Oh,
Oh,
here we go.
4, 3,
Turn on your
2, 1. You're listening to WSCU 93.7 FM, Lakeland, Florida, and welcome to Fire Talk. We are
Fire
in the
Talk.
station with Sean, myself, Kyle, and Anna.
We all interested in each other.
I don't know what was really happening with that introduction, but
I'm
it
not
happened.
Sean.
I was gonna say Kyle, don't worry.
Okay. So hey, real quick, make sure you go on to YouTube, search Fire Talk Season 1 to watch us live. We just had a whole pre-show where we got to talk all about Anna,
Wow.
which is pretty cool.
I'm gonna go back and watch that,
was
for
cool.
sure.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. But today, what we're going to be talking about, and what we talked a little bit about at the end of the pre-show, we're talking about unplanned improv, which I think is pretty neat. You guys seem to have a little bit of connection. Could you maybe explain your connection to unplanned improv?
Sure. Yeah.
Our connection. Well, my connection to unplanned improv is that I'm on the team.
Whoa!
I know.
What?
Craziness, right?
Not for long.
Guess I'll find out when I watch that little 10 minutes. All right.
Yeah, they actually kicked you off the team.
Okay.
But yeah, that's right. I actually have 3 players from Unplanned Improv, and you guys are all returning players from last season and everything.
Correct.
Now, which one of you, real quick, has been on for the longest?
I think it's me.
Sean McKenney?
Yeah.
Okay.
This will be my 5th season. This will be Tori's 4th, and this will be your 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think
Nice.
currently I'm the longest standing member of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Congratulations.
I've wasted a lot of my time.
Well, that is awesome. So, obviously, before I explain anything, you guys, would you mind just giving a quick little synopsis of what Unplanned Improv is?
Unplanned Improv is a student-led comedy broadcast show at Southeastern University. I don't know why you're laughing. We're serious. That's what it is. And we do improv, and we do games, kind of set up like Whose Line Is It Anyways, except it's like loosely based on that, and then we kind of do what we want inside of that structure.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds about right.
But yeah, it's really cool. We do cafe shows and we do shows in the studio, so more laid back and then more like production focused shows.
Cool. Well, that is great. So, 3 players from Unplanned Improv, comedy show. Very funny. Obviously, I've been to it a lot. Love it. But what's unique about your guys' show versus something like Whose Line Is It Anyways is that you guys actually use your show as a ministry. Now, a lot of people don't necessarily associate improv comedy with Christian ministry right off the bat, but could you guys explain that connection that you have there?
I think when it comes to art in general, there's kind of this divide, and we've talked about this in past shows where, is this art Christian? Is it not Christian? What makes Christian art? And I think that I'm going to sound a little liberal and crazy right now. I don't know if there's definitely art that isn't Christian art. I'll say most art is Christian art, because when you use the gifts and the talents that God's given to you to try to benefit people, that in itself is inherently Christian, and it's also a ministry. So we like to think we have the gifts and talents to do this. We probably think we have them more than we actually do. But to just go out and put on these shows and make people laugh, and we feel that, if we can provide laughs to people, we don't know what people are going through. Sometimes you just have those days where you say, man, I really need a laugh. Today was way more serious than I would have liked for it to be, Things happen that were not funny. It was a sad day. It was a long day. It was a whatever day. If we can be those laughs at the end of people's week, lighten the mood, maybe offer them fresh perspective, help them get through stuff, whatever that looks like for people. And we can do that by using the gifts and talents that God's given to us. I think that is very much a ministry. And that really is what, spurns us on to put out the best product that we can very consistently. At least consistently try to put out the best product that we can. is that it is a ministry, and to not give 100%, to not try to be the best that we can be, just like any other improv group, that's not fully honoring our ministry.
Have you guys ever had anybody come up to you after a show, whether it be a studio show or a cafe show, and say, like, hey, today was rough for me, or I'm going through something rough, this really helped me out?
No, I personally have not experienced that, but we've had players in the past that would come and tell us after the show, it's deep stuff, it's heavy stuff, you never know what somebody's dealing with. There was a show where somebody just came up and said, hey, my mom's got cancer. I really needed a laugh tonight. And that was it. And that really stuck with me, and I think that's going to stick with me as long as I do this, because if there's anybody that needs a laugh, it was that person that night. And being able to be a part of providing that, that's a big deal. And I think sometimes it's serious stuff like that, and sometimes it's off the cuff. People just walk by, oh, thanks, I needed a laugh. Oh, great show, I needed that. But I think in a lot of ways we all need that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know I certainly need it at the end of a long day, week, whatever. It just feels so good to get out there and just be silly. But yeah, we do hear very often people will come and tell us, I needed that, and it's never like, oh, it changed my life, but I could use a laugh, and you gave me one.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, I think there's something really special and cool about being able to come together and you're being so squirrely right now.
I'm sorry.
But there's something really special about being able to come together and be like, hey, life is crazy, but coming together and kind of agreeing, but it's gonna be okay, because we're still able to laugh, we're still able to kind of look on the bright side of things. And I think a lot of times the cast is doing that and the team is doing that just as much as the audience is experiencing that.
Is it tough to sometimes come in and be funny when you guys maybe have had a rough day, or if you're going through something personally? I mean, I don't know if anyone's experienced something with cancer like that, that one person did that you told the story about, but something serious. Is it tough to come in and start making jokes, especially about maybe that topic, or is it just something that's, oh, hey, I'm going to make fun of cancer as much as I can?
Yes, definitely hard to make jokes. I can speak from experience. If I have a lot of homework, or I just had a really bad day, because coming in to do improv, you have to have full energy. You have to put everything that you are into it, and you can't be having in the back of your mind all these negative thoughts. So you have to kind of push it aside for a while. But definitely every time there comes that point in rehearsal or in the show where you're like, man, I'm glad I did this. Because then you're over the hill, and then Sean McKenney tells a joke, and you're like, I can get through this. I can get through a good day.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I've always, because I've definitely, you have those days, and for me, sometimes it'll be right up until we leave the back holding area, in the studio. I don't know what it's called.
Your prison cell.
The prison cell before they let us out. And I'll be literally having those days I just, and your head's going crazy, and then you run out there, you go out there, and within 10 minutes, it's just oh, God created me to go to process things in this environment. I'm in such a better emotional, healthy place now than I would have out here, weirdly enough, in front of people I don't know, performing and making jokes, than if I had been holed up in my room trying to process that by myself.
Yeah, and I feel being angry during an entire improv show.
That's hard. That's really hard to do.
You can't do it.
It's
you
impossible.
Can't do it.
It'd be like being angry in a room of laughing babies. It just wouldn't happen.
That's what we are.
You just look at those babies and you're like, no, I can't be mad.
Be glad.
This is an odd analogy. I feel like you've been in this position before.
Yes.
You've walked into a nursery and just be like, oh, I'm so... All right, guys. Come on. So, what do you guys attribute that to? Is that something where it's just you guys are already making jokes, so that's what's making you happy? Is it a God thing? Is there that family aspect on your team? What do you guys attribute that to?
I think it's different, for everybody involved. I think for us as players, it's really multifaceted, because it's getting together with that group of people that you know really well. And there is just that home environment to it. This really is a family away from my family. And I know if I'm having a rough week or whatever, they can help me process that, not by me spilling everything that's wrong with me, but by us getting together and somebody's a grizzly bear, and then they run out of the woods, but Vladimir Putin was hunting the bear, and then suddenly Obama's there too, and they're making a deal together. But just the ridiculousness of, I don't know, I feel like the ridiculousness of like these little worlds we create in an improv scene just makes the regular world feel so much better. So that's certainly it. And then just like you said, like it's hard to be mad when there's so many funny things happening. And as for the audience, I think, you know, it is a lot of just connecting with laughter. You know what I mean? When you're laughing, you're not angry laughing. Like the only people that angry laugh are super villains
Or like sociopaths.
or sociopaths, and we generally try to bar those two from our studio and cafe shows as much as possible. So yeah, I'm sorry for our super villain listenership. Go ahead, just turn to Joy FM or something else if that's your thing. Like you're getting no love from us here, no love from us. But anyway, it's just hard to hear that stuff and be mad, because even in that moment, like if you're laughing, you're happy. Now long term, like your life may be in shambles, but you're happy because Putin came out of the woods
In
chasing
that
the
moment.
bear. In that moment, you know what I mean? You're happy about that thing, and then you're able to say, "Dang, I was happy about something for a couple seconds," and I don't want to, you know, overvalue what we do, but I think that goes a long way for a lot of people. So it really is simple, and it's like that for us as players too.
Yeah, and I think like that. I don't think that is like, you know, like whatever, like making it bigger or something. Like that is like to be able to look back and like, oh, for a few seconds I was happy and that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's gonna be something that can have like an overflow effect.
Mm.
And I had another thing to say, but I can't remember the question, so I don't even know if it's applicable.
You gotta
so I'm
improvise.
just gonna.
You gotta improvise. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Actually, the whole Putin and the bear thing made me forget my next question.
You
but
see how easy that is?
But I am so happy right now. I'm so joyful.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Didn't even do a show and Kyle's happy.
But if you're just tuning in, I'm sitting here with Anna, Sean, and Tori from Unplanned Improv, and we're talking about their show, their comedy show, and how they use that as a ministry. Also, make sure you check us out. Go to YouTube, search Fire Talk Season 1 to watch our live stream. Watch how goofy we are when we talk about Putin and bears. But Sean, something you just said, though, you were talking about the worlds you create. I've been very fortunate to be able to sit in on a few of your guys' practices. And
You mean the script writing practices?
Exactly.
Where we write our lines.
it's all lies. They really do plan it out. Actually, before I go to my question, is there any times that you guys go out there and you wish you would have planned something, you wish you had the ability
No.
to?
Heck no.
No.
Heck no.
Mm-mm.
Here's the thing, and this is the last thing I'll say.
It was like, I'd like a script.
I don't think we're funny enough to write stuff out. That's the problem.
But
We're
not
good
even
enough.
like jokes. Like, do you wish like you could plan like a big pop from the crowd, to use a wrestling terminology with you, Sean?
Certainly. No. I really don't. I don't like that, because half the fun for us is the surprise. Like in a scene, some players bring out this effect more than others. Shout out to Ricky Lattimore. But you never know what's gonna happen. You have no idea,
No.
and that's part of the energy. Is, you know, I did theater quite a lot in high school, and that was a lot of fun for me. And the energy always certainly was there. But compared to this, where you have no idea what the next line is,
Yep.
it's a different kind of energy. And I really think that's what helps us keep our heads in the game and keep producing what we hope is good stuff throughout. So no, I wouldn't want to plan it at all.
Yeah, like last night we literally did a scene where there was a clam
Oh my god.
Yeah.
in a
Yes.
cornfield in Indiana. Now, that's not something you would see every day.
We learned that the Pacers are a sports team.
Yeah, so
Yeah, who knew?
Not pacemakers.
The fun thing though, the reason I was like, well, is because sometimes when you do a scene and you're looking back, like when you sit down after the scene, you're like, man, if only I could go back and like change what I just did. Because even if a scene's really funny, sometimes you're just like, I just didn't nail that one on the head. I just didn't, yep. So I would say that scripts, I wouldn't want to write scripts because I'm too lazy, but I would like to do better sometimes.
you know, that single-handedly changes my answer. And this haunts me from my first ever show as a member of Unplanned Improv. I remember this very well. It was my first studio show. I was super excited. First one ever. There was this cute girl in my psychology class. She was going to see it. I was like, I'm going to knock this out of the park. We were playing weird newscasters. And I was a straight man, so I had to open up with the one-liner, and I just got it just a little bit off, and it's going to stay with me my whole life. The punchline was, recently producers at CBS have discovered an unaired episode of Star Trek where Captain Kirk is unable to locate his captain's chair, and he goes on a quest with his first mate to find it. The episode was called Spock, Whose Chair? Instead of Knock Knock, Who's There? And I died laughing when I thought of that. I'm like, this is the funniest thing anyone's ever said. I'm going to nail it. But I flubbed it when I was saying it, and the audience was like, I was so mad. So, I repent of my pride.
Sean,
sometimes I wish I could fix it.
Sean, this is true love. Oh no.
Sean, if I was there, I would have definitely laughed for you. Okay?
Thank you, Kyle.
You would have heard me.
I'm sure you redeemed yourself later on in the show.
No, I still haven't redeemed myself. I want to go my whole life and not come back from that.
So Sean, you just shared kind of an embarrassing studio story with us. Anna and Tori, do you guys have either a studio or a cafe kind of embarrassing joke? Tori's got one right away.
My whole life.
It started at when I auditioned for the team. I think I remember. I think it was Moving Bodies, and it's not even so much as it was embarrassing as it was just a very confusing time in my life that we did not properly explain the game at a cafe show. So the person, the lovely young man who I don't even know his name. I don't remember it. I don't remember. Anyways, he was assigned to my moving body, and he did not understand that the game was just to kind of lightly be like, oh, da 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 da.
If you're watching, go to YouTube. Insert
Sorry,
I
was using Sean as an example.
Was it with a guy?
Yes.
That's always weird.
Well, it was all, but he thought he was like part of the scene. So he was like, I think he thought he was like my like inner like conscience or something, because he was like, no, don't say that, no, say this, do this, blah blah blah, and I was like, I don't know what's happening.
I remember that.
You remember that? He started like yelling at me.
That was weird, dude.
That was a weird time. And I tried to like make it was just a very bad time in my life.
Ooh, I have a good story, unless you were going to comment on that.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I'm just very excited for the Chronicles of Anna. He's like the king of saying never mind.
Yeah, anyways, so I don't have an awkward story really about me. Basically, for me, whenever I get tired, I have a lot of awkward stories. I can't think of one, but when I get tired, I stop. I always depend on my wit, and if I get tired, the wit like level goes down like 50%. So all of my jokes are like hit and miss, and it's always awkward. But anyways, so we had a show this semester. I think it was the first one, and we were gonna play a little game called Whose Line. But someone writing the prompts was new, and they didn't know the names of the games, and so instead of writing Whose Line on the prompt card, they wrote Who's to Say. Who's to Say. And so Joel comes out, and he's at the podium, and he's like, our next game is gonna be called Who's to Say, and this is the point where Joel explains the game, except Joel had no idea what Who's to Say was, so he's like, and I'm going to do something a little different, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have one of our unplanned players come up and explain this game. And so
except none of us knew that.
Yeah, none of us knew that, and I'm sitting next to Cameron. So he's like, Cameron Smith, come tell us about Who's to Say. Oh, it's alright, okay. Anyways, so then Cameron walks up there. He's like, has no idea what's going on. Deer in the headlights in his eyes, and he's like, wow! Man, that was the best moment. I laughed so hard. Never got back in the show after that. Just laughed.
That was it for you.
And that's one of those things, for those listening, I actually direct their studio show, and that was one of those things for us in the control room. We all kind of collectively looked at each other like, are they doing a new game that they didn't write down? You know, and we were so confused. I mean, I thought Cameron and pulling it off nice and everything.
I don't even remember what Cameron said. I wasn't even listening.
But then we all had the moment where we're like, this isn't right. It had to cut.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? There's a new game title though,
Yeah.
But you guys have been talking a lot about studio shows and cafe shows, and your studio shows are actually recorded in Bolin Studio, all the cameras. You guys are actually nationally televised, and your cafe shows are just take place over in our local on-campus little cafe called Mi Casa. Can you guys kind of tell me the difference between performing in front of cameras on technically national TV, and versus just performing in front of a bunch of students in a cafe? This one's got some thoughts to it. I like it.
I think it's kind of, in a weird way, I feel like they're not similar, but the vibe is almost similar in a sense. Like, obviously there's a different structure when there's the schedule and the camera and the look at this camera, look at that camera, that aspect of it. But I think the same rules of like having a good audience and being a good team and listening to each other, like all of those things still apply, and it's just like different venues.
One thing that's really hard in the cafe show is we don't normally have mics, and so you have to project all the way through a ton of bodies all the way to the back, and we kind of do mediocre at that sometimes. So feel bad for the people who are just wandering in like, oh, there's some people moving up there, but I'm not saying anything.
It's like a mime team on SU.
Yeah, I'll say I think there's a huge difference personally as a player. I love the studio shows because it feels so legit because like the studio's like our house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just got the home field advantage sort of vibe to it. I like the cameras, but you're definitely on a shorter leash in that setting. And not just in terms of the way that you move. I mean, creatively, there's a lot of jokes that we can't make in a studio show, and that's not just because like we cuss during cafe shows, but there's a lot of subject matter that you can't cover, like a lot of Southeastern jokes that you just can't do in a studio show. You're more boxed in. Certainly, time constraints are a bigger issue. You have those mics on you, which I don't want to sound like a snob, but like if you're a physical performer and there's something that's worth $1,000 strapped to your butt, you're much less physically expressive than you would be as if there was nothing back there except your wallet, which if you're me is not worth $1,000. So it's definitely a different vibe. Whereas in the cafe show, I feel like I'm on a much longer leash. We can break the rules more often. We can hit some of those subjects that we usually cannot. It's rare for me to not throw myself into the audience at least once during a cafe show.
I will say, though, you did climb the set in the studio show once.
I did do
remember that.
Which is my favorite unplanned memory.
I got in a lot of trouble with a couple producers.
The director loved it.
The director thought it was awesome because the director doesn't really care if I do that. But I definitely heard about that after the show. And I told him I wouldn't do it again, but I was lying, and I intend on doing it again by the end of the season. Sorry, production team.
So, did you have more to add to that?
I did, yeah. So
Okay.
just to wrap it up, basically, yeah, I just feel like you're on a longer leash when you're in the cafe, and a big thing for me is the audience. So interacting with them as much as possible always leads to me personally having a better show, and that's just more conducive to the cafe.
So do you guys have any games that are specifically designed for either your studio show or your cafe show? Or do they all just kind of hit both?
There are some games. Sorry that I keep interrupting.
No, I didn't. Wasn't
there are some games that are easier to do than others. We play this one game. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for this. It's called CSI, and basically the way that it works is someone is prompted to, and they're given hints. They have to guess a cliche or a punchline that they are talked into saying. The audience and every person in the room knows except for them. So you have to do what you can to get them to say that thing in the context of a crime scene. It's a lot of fun. And much like the popular crime drama, CSI Miami, once you get it right, as in the show, Horatio Caine squints into the camera, puts on his shades, and the big, yeah! from Won't Get Fooled Again plays, and it's great. However, legally, we do not have the rights to Won't Get Fooled Again, because we're on Assemblies of God University, and why would Pete Townsend give us the rights to Won't Get Fooled Again? So we can't use that. So in the cafe, it's a lot more fun getting to just blast the yeah, but
Getting to break copyright laws.
yeah. I might be in some trouble with the Who's legal team just from saying yeah like that on the air on FM radio.
They own the yeah.
Anytime that you
The
say
inflection.
yeah, exactly. Pete Townsend gets a nickel.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of games work better in the studio too.
Mm.
Like film noir, because the lights can be dimmed, you get the music, or we don't play this one as much anymore. But monumental plot twist. You when a plot twist happens, you both look at camera 1 or camera 2. I never know, and
Camera
I look at the
1.
wrong. Okay. Yep. I just look at both intermittently so that I hit the right one at some point. It's my logic.
Russian roulette.
It's like,
She's the one I always talk about in post-production meetings.
or if I don't know what date it is, I go back and forth between the 2 dates I think it is. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Anyways, so yeah, some shows really work better in the studio.
I think audience participation games, like you can definitely do them in the studio, but they're a lot of fun in cafe shows. I mean, as long as you explain them. Explaining them properly.
As long as you don't have
careful.
someone yelling at you.
As long as no one's yelling at you because you're not moving the way they want you to.
So going back to a question that I had much earlier, Sean was talking about creating worlds within improv. And I was saying that I've been able to go to some of your practices, and before I had gone to any practices, just gone to the shows, I thought you guys just kind of stood up there, just made a bunch of jokes, and haha, we all laughed.
Right.
But going to the practices, I saw that it was a much bigger process than that. Can you explain to the layman, the person that doesn't know a lot about improv, can you explain what that process is of making an improv scene?
Yeah, I was actually talking to one of my friends about this the other day, because a lot of people who come to the show think that improv is all about punchlines, like comedy, and it's just this big stand-up comedy thing with these weird scenes going on too. And you just get a bunch of funny people together and they make a bunch of jokes. But
That's what people think.
yeah, that's what people think, and honestly, that's what I thought before I did improv. So, but the thing is, improv isn't necessarily about comedy. Actually, we obviously do it with a comedy purpose, but improv is about building scenes, and it's about acting, it's about characters, it's about conflict. And so we do this thing in our practices that's called long form, and basically this is where you have just a long scene happening, new characters keep coming in, and you can change like the scene so that it's a different time with the same characters, and it teaches you to not keep the focus comedy, but to make a believable story happen. So yeah.
So what's tougher for you guys, making the comedy, making the jokes, or making the scene itself?
I'm gonna say, I mean, for me personally, it's a lot harder to make and maintain a scene, because if you can hit a joke, like you're good, like that's it,
Mm-hmm.
like you did it, that's it. Whatever build up was there. But whereas a scene, you have to create and build it and maintain it. Maintaining a scene is the hardest part. I'll say, I don't want to say there's I don't want to make every part sound hard, but starting it really is not that hard. Like setting the scene, like right away. Like say the scene is, so the crowd gives us, all right, you're on a submarine in Antarctica, and you're 2 scientists, go. So you come out right away, and you'll immediately hunch up and start shivering, and say, oh, Dr. Johansson, did you check the oxygen levels? Bam. You establish this whole scene. So now it's everything that the audience just told you has immediately been thrown into play. You're cold scientists on a submarine in the Arctic checking the oxygen levels because that's something you do on a submarine. It's maintaining that from there that really is the hardest part for me personally. It's, how do I keep the audience in this mindset that we're on a submarine, we're scientists, it's the Arctic, whatever the situation is.
I think it's really something that I think that's why practices are so good, because it's really about kind of feeling listening and feeling that, just letting the feel of the scene go, because you are making it up as you go. And I don't feel like that sounds super ooh,
Feeling it up.
let the scene tell you what it is. But I think that there's kind of something to just not trying to, I guess what I'm saying is not trying to force the scene in a certain direction. Not trying to be oh, this is gonna be great, we're going to do, and completely leaving your scene partners are just kind of okay, we're gonna trot behind you and figure out what's happening. But really letting it organically develop between the 3, 4, 2 minds, whoever you have up there. Let it be an organic creation process that happens amongst the group of you, and then other people are watching And I think that's what makes it cool, is that they're watching something, like, be created. I was talking to somebody about improv, and they were, like, asking about the shows, and I was like, yeah, they're like, it's kind of like it's like, first read through, dress rehearsal, opening night, and closing night, all, like, in one. Like, it's just one big, like, and here we go. And it's kind of, it is, and it's I think that's what makes it so kind of magical, especially when it works, when everything clicks.
So much better than Disney.
So much better than Disney magic.
Right.
And I think people get this idea that, like, improv is all, like, the acting... Well, okay, maybe people don't get this idea, but, like, the acting rejects, like, the people who are too lazy to actually learn how to act.
That's true.
We hate
Which,
mine.
you know, it could be, and for me, that is definitely true. But, I think in general, it takes... If you want to be a professional, good improv player, like, you look at the people who are on Who's Line or who are at, Second City and, like, improv schools, they are geniuses. Like, they are people who can... I read this line in an improv book I was reading that said, acting is writing. And literally, you're writing as you act. And so your mind has to be so quick, and there are so many techniques that you can learn on how to make a scene more successful to make people like it more, you know? So I think when you really, like, we obviously aren't professional, we're amateur, but if you want to, like, you know, do something really difficult, doing improv technique is a very difficult thing.
Could you guys quickly explain, like, something difficult in improv? Because, again, like, I respect it a lot more now that I've seen the practices, the process behind it. But still, like, to me, I'm like, all right, all of it's just, I couldn't do it. But, like, what's, like, the most difficult process?
I got one, just right off the bat. We have a rule in improv, never say no. And you
really
think
hard.
that's, like, a really easy, oh, okay, like, I got that. But it's really hard when you're building a scene and someone else adds something like, we're in Antarctica, you know, the oxygen levels. I can't tell Sean, like, no, we're not, you know, checking the oxygen levels, you know. You have to listen to other people and you add to what they say. And so it's a very humble thing. And if someone adds something and you had this awesome idea that was going to be so hilarious but completely contradicts what they just said, you have to completely throw it out the window and move on with the scene and go with what they did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to agree with that a lot, is the not saying no. And a big thing for us is saying in the improv world is follow the funny. So if something's working, go with it.
Yeah.
Like, and follow it. Even if you got to bend a couple rules to get there, if it's working, it's working. Like, and we see this in our practices. We see this at all levels. It's something really hard to avoid. If your prompt right away is, you guys are pirates, when something bad happens, go. And you have in your mind, I'm a pirate on a pirate ship, and we're going to get attacked by a giant squid, and I'm going to fight the squid. And then right off the bat, your scene partner looks at you and says, man, spring training sure is hard. You're going, oh crap, now I'm the Pittsburgh Pirates, and it's the MLB. A squid does not make sense at all. So in that moment, you just have to follow the funny, what makes sense. So, like, the joke here was, you were expecting pirates, now we're baseball players, now we have to make it funny in this context. Anything that you possibly have prepared, you have to throw out the window. Don't say no to it, and just run with it. So, I don't want to sound silly, but the hardest part of improving is improv.
So to kind of change gears a little bit, because we don't have too much time left, you guys just recently added 3 new people to your team. Had a pretty big turnover. So far, all the shows that I've seen, they've done a phenomenal job. What has it been like having new blood on your team?
I think especially this year, it's been something that's been very, very fun, very refreshing. Like, there's something that each, like, Jody and Johnny and Pablo, like, each of them bring something just so dynamically, uniquely them to any place that I feel like as individuals, any place that they go, they just kind of, like, do that. So when they're compounded all together on the team, like, Johnny, you can't leave him alone for, like, more than 10 seconds without him, like, composing, like, a symphony and having everyone else join him.
It's the weirdest thing.
Even someone, like, walking by that, like, doesn't know him, they're like, doo doo.
Yeah.
Like, they just go, you know? Like, there's just something, like, very, like, spunky and unique about all of them.
I like that. Something spunky about them. Can you kind of explain what the process was for them to get on the improv team? Because I know unplanned tryouts are a pretty big deal on campus. A lot of people show up. So how did you narrow it down to 3 people?
Well, we did extensive background checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the
Facebook
FBI
stalking.
involved.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
no, I'm
NSA
kidding.
was there.
Actually,
I
it
knew
was
it.
all in one night. We had a big audition, and I don't know how many people were there.
There's about 50 people there.
50.
We were
Yeah.
pushing 60 at the end of it.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of people there, and we just formed 2 lines. We started some games up, and we're rotating people in. And as a team, we would go back out, and we would argue about who we wanted to beat.
And then we would fight.
Argue's a very appropriate word.
Yes, especially near the end.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
very hard.
I'll say, let me throw my title around a little bit here. As casting director of Unplugged Improv,
Oh my.
that's when I really felt the most pressure on us as a team and myself in particular, because auditions are not about, and you're really joining any team, but especially with improv, it's not about finding who's good at what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that were really good at improv that did not make the team. There were really funny people that did not make the team. There were really quick thinking people that didn't make the team. It's about addressing what you need now and where your team is at.
Yeah.
So there were some people that would be great additions to another team, but they just didn't make sense for us to add. And then the people that we added probably wouldn't have made it on other teams, and not because they're bad, just because they wouldn't have been an appropriate fit. Does that make sense? So
Yeah, that
a
makes
lot
sense.
of it really is, it's looking at fits and it's addressing need, because in an improv dynamic in a team, you need certain strengths and certain personalities in order to make that successful.
And also being in a, as a school improv, you have a lot of people that cycle through. Well, when a really good player leaves, what's the feeling? Especially having to replace them.
Yeah.
What's that feeling like?
We've never
Darn
had
you.
that feeling before.
Yeah, you're just like good riddance.
We've never had a good player leave.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You
We
feel
love
like
them
you
very
feel
much.
like an amputee victim, like with improv.
What are you
That was insensitive.
I love all of Anna's
Analogies.
Maybe that was
Really bad.
insensitive.
It's like
Why
walking
would we
into a
pass
room
her?
smiling babies.
Oh.
I'm just gonna take a step back. You
Anna's
guys take
just
the
gonna
floor.
sit back, I guess.
What was? Oh, you have someone on the team last year. I forgot the question. I think there's just. I mean, there's that moment where you're like, shoot, they're really good, and I love. And I think it's just with people who are good improvers, they're going to be people that you enjoy working with, and you there's that chemistry where you love doing scenes with them, and you love, and so you miss that. And so I think for me a lot, especially for on auditions, I was like looking for that feeling again whenever we would, because when it got down to about like 10 or 12 people, we started going up there and doing scenes with them. And that's literally what I was looking for the entire time, was just that sort of puzzle piece fit of like, yes, this is fun, this is creative, this isn't forced.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, it's tough because fit, like we said, it's a really good word, and you have people that you just love to perform with, and then when they leave, it's like, shoot, I'm tempted to replace this person now. That's the worst thing you can do.
Oh, yeah.
Is just replace somebody with somebody else. Like, it doesn't work like that. Everyone is different. Every person, there are no two people with the same sense of humor completely on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's large groups that have similar, like, you got to know how to appeal to an audience and recognize their style. But, especially with people that do improv, you're never going to find two people so similar they can replace. So I think the important thing is to be like, that was fun. I'm glad we had that dynamic, but now I need a new one, because you're not going to get that back.
Cool. Well, it's been really great talking to you guys. One more thing. When's the next show? Cafe or studio? When's the next show? Do you guys even know?
Mm-hmm.
The next cafe
The
show is the 16th of this month at 7:30
Yes.
in Mikasa.
Yes, I knew that.
It was this morning.
Sorry, I only asked if you guys knew, because there's a look. If you were watching on YouTube, which go on YouTube, search Fire Talk Season 1, and you can rewatch this entire broadcast, and you can see the face that I was just talking about they made. They were very concerned, particularly Sean.
It was not a face of confidence at all.
The casting director was very concerned.
So you said October 16th, though, correct?
October 16th in the cafe at
All right.
7:30.
7:30, October 16th.
It's free.
Totally free.
Totally.
And now, is that just one show?
Yes.
One show.
Yes, one show.
One and done.
One and done. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Again, I've got to talk to the Unplanned Improv players. We got
Anna.
Sean.
And Tori.
And my name is Kyle for 93.7 FM Fire Talk. Thank you guys so much.
No, wait, we turned that off later. Too
This
long?
is still going.
How long should I hold it?
Hello.
We're holding it long term. Oh man.
If you're ever in the Lakeland area, make sure you tune in to 93.7 FM.
Swing by and play an improv.
Unplanned
Yes.
improv.
Go
Yes.
to Kyle's Pizza.
And real quick, so October 16th, but also when's the next studio show? That's in November, correct?
Yeah, that's
November
it's like
6th.
April.
Isn't it
No idea.
November 16th?
Oh,
I think it is.
whoa.
The fact that she knows that. We're improv players. Do we look at the date for next week?
No.
So make sure you guys come out to that. You can rewatch, if you just tuned in, you can rewatch this entire episode and also rewatch other Fire Talk episodes, as well as Mike Tuck Show, the other shows that we live stream that I don't really know right now, but bam. Alright. Say goodbye to your parents, guys.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, everybody. Eventually, I don't really know how the next
We don't know
one.
how to
Here,
turn
click,
it off.
click the logo.
Click
bring,
what
yeah,
logo?
bring it to the right. To
In
the
the box.
other little...
Click this one?
Yeah, click that one.